There comes a point in time in everyone's life where they become comfortable and secure with where they are. You finally got that job you were striving for, you achieved that big goal, or you gained the popularity you always wanted. Life is good, right? Well, not for long. Pretty soon after you realize what you achieved was not enough, you spiral out of control, you get more and more depressed, you feel like a failure, and you realize that everything you strive for to achieve in the past becomes meaningless. So in this video, I want to go over why I believe complacency is the biggest death wish and how to continuously improve yourself. Friends, family, and random people, thank you for tuning into this video. My name is Hastings. If you're new here, this channel is all about building your body and mind through a plant-based diet as well as personal development topics like this video, so consider subscribing. So first, let's just start off with what complacency really means, because I feel like people just don't know what that word means. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines it as self-satisfaction, especially when accompanied by unawareness of actual dangers or deficiencies. So I'd like to underscore the difference between this and just doing nothing. Complacency is when you are actually satisfied with your state of doing nothing, and you kind of just become unaware, like it said. You become unaware of the fact that your self-satisfaction is actually doing you a lot of harm. So I'll be sure to teach you by the end of the video how to become aware of if you're actually making progress or not, because a lot of people, and you might be one of these people, are living in an illusion of progress. I'm going over 3 main points to see if you're improving, to constantly improve yourself, to stay motivated to improve yourself, and to make sure you're never complacent. So the first one is to pursue a side hustle. This requires you to already know what you love and what your passions are. So if you don't know this already, what I suggest you do is try to get as bored as possible, and don't revert to going to the TV or going on the internet and just watching funny videos. I want you to sit there and really think about, what do I want to fill this time the most with? What would I really enjoy filling my free time with? And then obviously you want to make that into some side hustle. Now, what I suggest you do is try to make it bigger than yourself. Like what I've done with this YouTube and Instagram so far is make it bigger than myself, give it more value than just doing what I love to do. I've expanded it to so many people, to helping so many people through this, and that has really brought me so much happiness and gives me the motivation to continuously improve this craft. So there's a podcast that I listen to, the Tim Ferriss podcast. I highly suggest anyone listen to that. And Tony Robbins was on the show, and these two talked about how one of the most effective ways to be happy is to pursue something bigger than yourself. Tony is obviously someone, if you don't know him already, he's someone who donates so much of his wealth to other people. He feeds millions and millions of people each year. And I can tell you from personal experience that when I get a message saying, your video helped me so much, your post helped me so much, there's really no better feeling than that, guys. When I know I helped someone who I don't even know, that's when I feel like I've really achieved something. So as humans, I feel like we always need to be thinking about more than ourselves and bringing value into other people's lives. So if you can not only pursue a side hustle and do what you love, but improve other people's lives through it, there is nothing that will bring you more happiness. The second way to avoid complacency is to surround yourself with people who are constantly pushing you to be better. Jim Rohn, another famous personal development guru, I guess I'll call him a guru, a famous quote by him says, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And while I don't completely agree with this quote, I think it's very important to highlight it. So who you surround yourself with the most has a massive impact on what you're going to achieve in the future. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are constantly negative, constantly talking about what's wrong with the world, who don't even like themselves, who constantly talk bad about other people, you internally, you subconsciously are going to consume that information, and it's gonna affect your mood, it's gonna affect what you can do in your life more than you think. You need to find a strong tribe that is already as good as you are, is already on the same level as you, and is constantly trying to get better like you are. Or surround yourself with people who have achieved what you want to achieve in the future. Here's a helpful tip you can do right now. This is super helpful for the ones who have social anxiety, but I do want to talk about that later in the video, so stay tuned for that, of course. You should just listen to personal development podcasts. Just listen to people who are so successful in their fields, who are so successful in anything really, or just watch YouTube videos of these people. If you're constantly listening to these people, then it's almost as if you're sitting down with them and you're learning from them. It's kind of like they're mentoring you. It's the same with books really, but I think listening to the actual person and watching them and watching how they carry themselves, like on YouTube, is super impactful, and I feel that it's almost as impactful as if you were just hanging out with them in real life. But I still do believe you should find people that are going to push you in real life as well. And the third thing you should do to avoid complacency is to do at least one thing that scares you, that's safe, obviously, every single day. This is one of those habits that can completely transform your life within like a month. So I've talked about how to get over any fear and how to step out of your comfort zone in previous personal development videos, so be sure to check those out. But I'll tell you why this is so important. That is simply because it's the exact opposite of complacency, the exact opposite of the definition of complacency. So say we have this theoretical comfort zone bubble, and this is like all the things you are comfortable with in this little circle. As soon as you start stepping out of it, you expand this bubble, this circle that you're in. And when you expand this bubble or circle, you are constantly opening the door to more opportunities because you're more willing to try new things. And stepping out of your comfort zone is like training your muscles. In order to see progress with your muscles, in order to make them bigger, you gotta consistently train them and step out of your comfort zone and go harder and harder, get progressively stronger in the gym. So if you want to train yourself to step out of your comfort zone more, you gotta consistently do it. This one is really tough, probably much more tough than the previous two, because by the end of this, you're gonna almost run out of things to become uncomfortable about, and you're gonna have to do the things you never even dreamed of doing. So a couple examples, I guess I'll just go over a couple examples. One of them is just talking to a random person every day, like going into a store when you're buying something, just chat up a conversation with any random person. Or you might take a cold shower every day. That one's really popular right now and it has a lot of benefits, so you can try something like that. Just anything that'll actually get you to step out of your comfort zone. Don't play yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't do things that you think is stepping out of your comfort zone, but it really isn't. Just don't play yourself, guys. I wanna paraphrase another quote from Tony Robbins here that I learned on the podcast, and Ray Dalio, who is a billionaire investor, also said something like this in his book that he wrote, Principles, and it is evolve or die. As humans, we are made to progress. That is our whole biology, is constantly evolving, constantly getting better, constantly trying new things. That's why complacency is a death wish, guys. You don't want to stay in the same place forever. Humans are not made to stay in the same place and do the same monotonous things over and over. It can lead to a lot of depression, it can lead to stress, and in turn, that's gonna make you age quicker, like literally age quicker, guys. It's not a joke. So this last third point is how you can know if you're improving yourself, is if you are constantly expanding this comfort zone bubble that I talked about. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, if you're gonna take action, leave a comment, obviously, telling me what you thought, and a like as well. It helps out my channel a lot. Thank you for sticking around to the end. I hope you do something and not be complacent, of course. And I will see you all in the next video.